JB. I think JB might be the biggest interviewer that Bo's had to face yet as heavyweight champion. They look each other right in the eye. Well, we've got Oscar De La Hoya next. He's 7-0 as a pro, the Olympic champion. He is a very impressive young man in every way. I'd love to hear your impressions of his boxing ability.
Tim, I just can't find any faults in him. I've watched a lot of tapes. He seems to be able to do everything. He can box. He can punch. He puts his punches together. He's a has a great strategy. Is it tragedy or strategy?
I hope it's not a tragedy.
Strategy is what I'm saying. He just seems to know it all when he's in the ring.
An intelligent young guy in the ring and out, and headed to stardom for sure. Now, tonight he's facing a guy with a style he has yet to see as a pro in his 8th fight. Troy Dorsey, a real kind of guy that gets all over you, stays on you, a little bit like Zach Padilla, but more so.
Yes, the true grit Dorsey. He's one of a kind, Tim. He's going to stay right in on top of De La Hoya. I think he's going to bring out the best in De La Hoya, though.
Well, now, Troy Dorsey has another skill a lot of fans may not know about. Although he's former IBF featherweight boxing champion, he is still the world 128-pound kickboxing champion. He might be tempted to use that today.
Tim, he may have to use that today. I don't think Dorsey's been taught to block a kick. That may be effective for Dorsey in the fight. I should say De La Hoya blocking a kick.
One thing about De La Hoya, though, he's so hard to catch, he might have to be kicking him in the backside if he uses that weapon. Let's take a look at Troy Dorsey's record from Ring Magazine, the Bible of Boxing. He is 30 years of age now and is just 12-7-4 because of the fact that he started out as a kickboxer and has really been a boxer only in the last several years. But he did win the IBF Featherweight Championship, and he is an experienced, mature boxer. As we said, a very busy guy who will be all over De La Hoya if Oscar gives him the opportunity. Here is the young star of the Olympic Games, the only gold medalist for the U.S. team, 7-0, unbeaten thus far, and looking like he is headed to championships in several divisions at 5 feet 11. And his record from the Ring Magazine Bible of Boxing, as you saw, 7-0. De La Hoya is a guy that people are talking about now as the next Sugar Ray Leonard in terms of ability and his opportunities to roll up a lot of money and fandom all at the same time. The tale of the tape in this battle tonight, the 20-year-old De La Hoya against the 30-year-old Dorsey. The weight agreed upon for the fight, 133 pounds. De La Hoya came in a half pound over, and Troy Dorsey made it right at 133. It is effectively a lightweight fight. Scheduled for 10 rounds.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Again, Dorsey is by far the busier fighter. De La Hoya lands a harder percentage and harder punches. Very similar to the other fight, Tim.
It is indeed. How about in the jab department?
Again, Dorsey throws more jabs, doesn't land the percentage that De La Hoya does, and it's not as snappy a jab.
Well, these are Nevada rules with no title at stake here, but they are the same as the WBO rules in the last fight. The 3 knockdown rule, meaning 3 knockdowns in a round would end it. Count continues after the bell, except in the final round. Now let's go up to our ring announcer, Michael Buffer, for the pre-fight introductions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Top Rank Incorporated and Kentucky Fried Chicken, the boxing action continues. The officials assigned to judge this bout at ringside on a 10-point Mustang from the Nevada State Athletic Commission will be Bill Graham, Davey Pearl, and Lou Tabbitt. When the bell rings, the man in charge of the bout is Mitch Halpern. And now, man your battle stations, scheduled for 10 rounds. This is in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks and weighing in at 133 pounds. He's from Dallas, Texas, and brings a professional record of 12 victories with 10 KOs against 7 defeats and 4 draws. He's ranked by the IBF, and he is the former IBF featherweight champion of the world, Troy Dorsey. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks with gold letters, weighing 133 and 1/2 pounds, from Los Angeles, California, East LA to be exact. He brings an undefeated record of 7-0, 6 by KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the 1992 Olympic gold medal champion, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Here, I touch him up. Let's go. Come on.
That's referee Mitch Halpern, who will work this 10-round fight. The judges are Bill Graham, Lou Tabbitt, and Davey Pearl. longtime referee, now acting as judge in this match here in the state of Nevada. De La Hoya in the white trunks, Troy Dorsey in the black. Troy Dorsey from Fort Worth, the stable of Dave Gorman, and fights a lot like a stablemate there. Gene Hatcher, now retired, former WBA champion. A pressure guy will come in and won't quit. Will throw a ton of punches and keep pressure on you, and that's what we expect to see. And he's trying to get underneath the taller De La Hoya right now.
Right, he's fighting in a crab-like style, Tim. He's trying to stay very, very low.
Dorsey told us that De La Hoya had not seen anybody like him thus far in his 7 pro fights, and he feels if he can get him through the first few rounds that he can win this bout. He's very respectful of the power of the young De La Hoya. For De La Hoya's part, he said this is the kind of fighter that he wanted to face, and he just rocked Dorsey with a left hand.
I like that move of De La Hoya. He landed one left hook, little step to the right, and threw another one. Here we see the talent of Oscar De La Hoya, and already Dorsey is busted up.
Over the right eyebrow, right on the corner of the eyebrow.
Looks like a serious cut, Tim.
And that'll run into his eye and make it difficult for him early.
And now you can see Dorsey's trying to pursue, but you can see De La Hoya side to side. Look at him spin off the ropes, out into the middle. This is a kid, Tim, so far I can't find any fault with him at all. He seems to have it all. Hey, look at that move.
Dorsey at age 30 in his boxing wars, and no doubt in his kickboxing wars, has been through this before. It won't bother him except from a vision point of view, but he has been cut.
Well, Tim, I'm surprised that the referee hasn't stopped the fight to at least take a look at the cut, because it is a serious cut.
Dorsey was in a kickboxing match just about 6 weeks ago over in Paris, France, when he got the call saying he could have this fight.
Tim, watch this lateral movement of Oscar De La Hoya. Beautiful, side to side, left to right.
And now referee Mitch Halpern has stopped the action to have the doctor, Flip Pomansky, examine the cut.
There's no vision.
Only the referee here in the state of Nevada makes the decision, but of course he has the counsel of the doctors over there.
I'm all right, I can go.
Let him finish his round.
I can go.
You heard Flip Pomansky say, let him finish this round.
And I heard Troy Dorsey say, I can go. Talk about a tough guy. He is a tough guy.
Dorsey's lost his last 2 outings, but he is in shape, as we said, because he was in full training for a bout against a 148-pound kickboxer, a bout he lost in Paris.
Another good left hook by De La Hoya. And look at those short combinations. Look at those punches.
Dorsey trying to cover up and find a way to attack, now throwing punches. Keeping the pressure on, but De La Hoya not bothered by it at all.
Well, you got to work in close. You got to get in close to him and then throw punches.
You get inside. You hesitate, just let them go. Don't look for a target. You got to turn them loose.
Yeah, you're not letting them flow. Go.
You got a bad one, baby. You got to get him. You got to get him out in 1 or 2 more rounds. That's all they're gonna let us have.
They ain't gonna give us much, boy. You got to
get it over with this round.
It ain't bothering me.
Keep your eye closed while he's got that medicine in there.
It ain't bothering me.
Okay, take it off and let me see.
But Tim, it shows you the punches landed. I didn't see Dorsey landing 26 punches in that round.
Troy, you got to let your hands flow inside.
Well, Dorsey's own corner telling him that it's a bad cut, and in fact, the referee Mitch Halpern is not going to let him come out for the 2nd round. And so it is all over. Oscar De La Hoya with a 2nd round stoppage, as the referee Mitch Halpern does not allow Dorsey to come out. His own corner was saying to Dorsey, if you can't knock him out in the next round or 2, they won't let us go any farther with this bad cut. So a tough break for Troy Dorsey, who was more than willing to continue. But Oscar De La Hoya was just going to be too much for this
Let's take a look
veteran
at the punch.
anyway.
There's that left hook right on the right eye. And there's another straight right hand. Timmy threw so many accurate punches. I don't know which one was the one that really busted him up, but they were clean punches.
Well, I think on that replay, just the way that Dorsey winced, it might well have been that left hand at the very beginning of that replay. But De La Hoya is now 8-0 in the pro ranks with an easier stoppage than even he might have expected against Troy Dorsey, who's very disappointed having not the opportunity to go back out for the second round because of the cut. Oscar De La Hoya from Los Angeles, California, showing just a sample of his wares here. One round of action at the Thomas & Mack Arena to move his pro record to 8-0 with 7 knockouts. And let's go up now to James Brown.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. You know, as you mentioned, Tim Ryan, Oscar De La Hoya said this was a fight that he wanted. There were those who were a little concerned that maybe Oscar De La Hoya was taking on a bit too much by fighting a guy like Troy Dorsey, who at least will put a lot of pressure on him. But it was clear that Dorsey needed just a few more weapons in his battle with Oscar De La Hoya, namely the 2 weapons that were planted firmly on the canvas. So the march continues for the young man who is without a doubt destined for stardom. Not only does he look good, not only does he talk well, but he fights an awfully good game as well. So Oscar De La Hoya moves to 8-0 as he continues to move along. Says that he is absolutely not problemed at all by the fact that they're keeping a very aggressive fight schedule for him. Right now, let's head back down to our ring announcer for the official decision, Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after suffering a very severe laceration to the right eye, Troy Dorsey was advised by the physician ringside, chief ringside physician Dr. Flipomansky, that he should no longer continue. The advice was passed on to referee Mitch Halpern, who had to call a halt to the bout. At the end of the first round, the winner by TKO, his record now 8-0, 7 KOs to his credit, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
All right, so Oscar De La Hoya, very, very impressive. A 1-round decision. Boy, I tell you, Troy Dorsey, he came back over here, as Tim Ryan mentioned, just after being involved in a kickboxing a situation over in Paris, France 4 weeks ago. Perhaps he should have stayed over there. So standing by with the winner now to talk about why and how he executed the decision so quickly, Tim Ryan with De La Hoya.
Thank you, James. Here's Oscar De La Hoya in his 8th professional fight, not getting much of a chance to show our large TVKO audience what he can really do because it only went 1 round, but it looked to us like it was a left hand. Do you remember what punch opened up the cut?
Yes, it was a left uppercut who really did the damage. It was a terrible cut. I mean, Troy Dorsey wanted to continue, but it was just an ugly cut. It was very, very large over his eye. And, you know, I always say that opponents shouldn't really get hurt up in the ring, and but Troy Dorsey, I mean, he has a lot of heart, and I give him a lot of credit.
Oscar, I saw you at the end of the round. You were kind of waving your arms in disgust in the direction of Dorsey. Were you upset at him or the fact that they weren't stopping it right then?
I was upset that they wouldn't stop it because I saw that the cut was bleeding tremendously, and I saw that the cut was really affecting him in the fight. So, I mean, I was trying to make signs like, gosh, stop the fight, you know, please stop the fight for his own sake, for his own good, you know. And I'm just happy that nobody came out really, really hurt.
Well, we did see a sample of your ability, Oscar, even though it was only 3 minutes worth. Here's a look back at the punch we think caused the cut. See if you agree.
Yes, right here. I was throwing the uppercuts because that's the one that really did it. That kind of just got him and opened it up. And he was a fighter who just came in, no defense, just was coming in with his head. And we were working on throwing uppercuts and trying to knock him out with an uppercut. So that's what we did, and it worked perfectly.
Well, Gil Clancy was very impressed with your side-to-side movement, your accuracy of punching, and I think everybody agrees that you have a bright future ahead of you. Some of your people, and I think you yourself have said you'd like to talk about the possibility of 6 titles in 6 different weight divisions. Is that what you hope for?
That's what I hope for, but right now we got to get that first one and take it one day at a time. We really can't rush things. I'm only 20 years of age, and we got a lot of time ahead of us, and I'm going to make it the best years of my life, and hopefully I can make history in boxing.
A lot of people looking in out there may not be aware that you have other goals as well. You told us yesterday that you'd like to be an architect, and I'm sure a lot of fans are saying, hey, that's a great goal for any professional athlete to have, to do something other than just be a boxing champion.
Most definitely. What I believe in is that my boxing career is not going to last very long. I might break a hand now, I might break an arm tomorrow, and what do I have that backs me up is only education. So I really gotta go back into my studies, go into college, and continue my degree in architecture, because that's something very, very important to myself.
Well, good luck to you, Oscar. You're going to be fun to watch in the years ahead, and I know everybody's going to be following your career very closely, hoping maybe to see history made with 6 titles.
Hopefully. Thank you very much.
Oscar De La Hoya from Los Angeles, California. An impressive victory. It only took 3 minutes because of that cut to the very game, Troy Dorsey. But nonetheless, we saw a sample of those skills that we'll be seeing a lot more of in the years ahead from Oscar De La Hoya. Now let's go back up to our host, James Brown.